So I was looking through my closet and I realized I don't have a good basic red dress. And then I remembered that I can sew and I can make this in just a few hours. So let me show you how you can make the pattern for this beautiful dress in your size. Hi, my name is Fabiana. Welcome to Aiclo. And today you're going to come along with me while I find some inspiration, make the pattern, and sew this beautiful dress. So let's get started. Okay, so one of my favorite ways to be able to visualize what I have in my head or even look for inspiration if I don't have any is Pinterest. I can just kind of look for similar ideas and I even get more inspiration. And recently I've been also loving to look for inspiration over here in Aiclo. This is actually where I first found the initial idea of what I'm going to be sewing today, which is an A-line dress. I think it looks so elegant, so sophisticated, but I got some ideas of some changes I want to make. For example, I want to add kind of like a tieable belt on the waist. I think it just helps accentuate the silhouette and it looks so beautiful. And I would shorten it a little bit to make it a mini dress, but other than that, it looks perfect. I'm going to show you how I made the pattern, but first I also went into Pinterest and searched what I want to make. And here I can get more of a clear idea of what I might like to sew, colors, fabrics, prints, everything. I love the silhouette and it's pretty similar to the dress pattern I showed you in Aiclo. I think it looks so beautiful, but I'm going to make a red dress. So let's see what ideas come up. Okay, so this is pretty much what I think I want. It would look so elegant with the belt I told you about. I already bought the fabric and it's kind of a similar weight to this one, so I think it will look something like this. And actually the color is quite similar as well. So yeah, that was honestly really fast. I'm surprised. So let's make the pattern, and I think making the pattern will be even quicker and faster than looking for the inspiration. So let me show you how you can make your own with your own measurements. I promise you it's super simple. Just head to aiclo.com and you're going to browse through all the patterns. There's a ton, by the way, if you want to check them out, but I'm just looking in the dress section until I find the A-line dress. There's other variations, but this one's the one I'm going to be making today. And this is what you'll see as soon as you click on this. It's an avatar wearing the pattern, but remember that we're making it on our size. So we're going to be changing the avatar. Here you can create your own or use one you have already saved up, like mine. And now I'm going to head over to this sliders or measurements on the left side because I do want to change the neckline a little bit. Let's just see what works best. Let's see what I like the most. This is mostly preference. And something I'm sure of is that I want to make it a mini dress. So let's make it shorter. Oh, and if you want to see how much something measures, for example, let's see how long the skirt part of the dress is. I just click here on advanced mode. And here the bottom length is the measurement of the skirt itself, which I think is so useful because you can measure yourself and it just helps double check that you like the length on your body. I already have the fabric for it. You'll see it in a few minutes, but I know it's a little bit stretchy, so I'm going to be setting the stretchability to 5%. This automatically modifies all the measurements so it works best for the fabric you're using. And honestly, I'm not going to modify anything else. I find that in most cases, less is more. So I don't play around with much of the pattern because I know that most always the initial pattern that Aiclo generates for my size is the one that works best for me. And the more I use Aiclo, the more I realize that there's many features that I still learn from every day. I love to check the fit map, the string map, and seeing how the pattern is going to look once I print it. Then I can just go ahead, save the project. And now we can download it. There's multiple formats in which you can download them, but I always choose PDF and in a US letter format. You can also modify anything over here and you can just go ahead and print it as you would with any digital sewing pattern. I printed it and assembled it already. And here I have all of my pattern pieces cut out. I have the top front pattern pieces, the top back piece, and the lower panels. And let me show you how beautiful this red fabric is. As soon as I saw it, I knew it was going to be perfect for what I wanted to make. When you think about a red dress, this is a red that immediately comes to my head, so I knew it was going to work perfectly. This time I pre-washed my fabric. This is something that I should do every time, but if I'm honest, I don't do it every time. But if I know I'm using a different fabric that I've never worked with before, I do that, which is the case for this one. But if you can, I recommend pre-washing your fabric. It will be the worst to make a beautiful garment and then wash it for the first time and realizing it shrunk. I think that's every sewist's nightmare. Cutting the pattern pieces was pretty simple. All of the pattern pieces from Aiclo Patterns have notches, guides. They're pretty clear and easy to work with. And the first thing I'm going to sew is the top panels together, and I'm going to close the darts from the upper back panels. As you can see, we have a princess seam. They can be tricky sometimes, but I like to start sewing from the notch all the way down and then from the notch all the way to the top. I just grab all of my things, head over to my machine and get it ready. I love filling out a couple of bobbins before any project, just so I don't have to do that once again when I'm sewing. I promise sewing can be so enjoyable if you take your time, don't rush. I don't know why, but when you rush things in sewing, everything just seems to go wrong. So my number one advice is to take your time. An awesome tip when sewing princess seams is to snip some of the seam allowance on the curvier edges so that when you press it, it looks much nicer from the front. As you can see, it looks so neat, so nice. It really does make a difference. Then I went ahead and attached the front panels together and also the back panels. I'm not following any strict step-by-step guide. There is a tech pack for every pattern that you can download that has some general information on how you can assemble each garment. I have been sewing for a long time, so I don't always use it, just when I don't know where to start. I decided to add an invisible zipper to the back, but you could also add a zipper on the sides. You could do whatever works for you best. At first I wasn't sure if I wanted to fully line the upper part of the dress, and I was planning on using the same fabric for the dress, but it's a little bit too thick, so I decided to just add some facings to the armholes and to the neckline. I think I made the right decision. It ended up looking really nice. You'll see once I try it on. And look how perfect my zipper looks. I get overjoyed when I get it right the first time. And then I just went ahead and attached the shoulders and the sides for the front and back panels. I'm almost done here. I just need to do that and sew the hem. And obviously we're missing the belt, but I have good news for you. For the belt, I just cut out a 2-meter long piece of fabric so I could wrap it around my waist. So basically a huge rectangle and closing it as you would with straps, for example. It was so simple. And then I just tied that rectangle. I'll show you at the end how I did it. So it's just a separate piece from the dress. You could also use the dress as itself. And here I'm just making the finishing touches for the dress, and I'll show you the dress in a little bit. I am finally done, and honestly the dress by itself looks so pretty, so elegant, but this final touch just gives it everything, and I think it just pulls everything together, and it's so classy. I think I could have worn this 10 years ago or 20 years from now and it'll still look beautiful. You know, I have to mention the fit. It looks so perfect on me. I did not have to take it in, not even the shoulders, the sides, anything. It just fit me so perfectly. So if you'd like to try it out yourself, I highly recommend that you do. The first 2 pattern downloads are completely free for you to try out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any recommendations, any patterns you'd like me to try out, let me know on the comments and I'll try and make them for our next videos.